Good morning, I'm Stephanie Ramirez. Time right now, 4 o'clock on this Friday, July 24th.
And I'm Sina Gebrab. Thank you for starting your morning with us. We're right here on Fox 5 and streaming on Fox Local. Here's what's happening today.
The driver charged in a deadly bus crash in Virginia heads back to court just days after being granted bond. What today's hearing could mean for his eventual release from being behind bars as he awaits trial.
And a major announcement 6 years after White's Ferry closed due to a land dispute. The new deal that leaders say they've just reached with the owners.
Plus, clear skies ahead. We'll tell you what you can expect as you head out the door. And we've got a sneak peek at your weekend forecast. Got to tell you, it's looking good. Fox 5 morning at 4 a.m. starting right now. Good Friday morning, everyone. I hope you're excited as we are to be at the end of the week.
Indeed.
And if you're just starting your week, like some of our colleagues behind the camera.
Actually, me too.
You're one day closer to your weekend.
Okay, true. One way or another, we'll take it.
Yep. Caesar, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been even better because of the fact that this weather has been perfect.
Yes.
Yesterday was amazing. Yes, we had plenty of sunshine yesterday. The temperatures were in the low 80s.
Didn't feel like mid-July, got to be honest with you.
No, not at all, right? So that's exactly what we get to deal with today. And we do see a few clouds slowly starting to build back in towards our area here towards the afternoon. But that's not really going to create any issues here for us. We're going to talk more about how this weekend's shaping out and just how long this stretch of beautiful weather is lasting with us here in just a couple of minutes. I'll send it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Caesar. We're looking forward to it. Changing gears now to our top story this morning. The driver charged in that deadly I-95 bus crash in Stafford County, Virginia, could get out of jail soon.
Yeah, Jing Dong has another bond hearing this morning in Stafford County.
Let's get over to Fox 5's Melanie Onwick. She's live there this morning with the details from the courthouse. What can you tell us, Mel?
Hey, good morning. So the hearing today is in district court, and this is where two of the remaining involuntary manslaughter charges are filed. And if the judge in district court agrees with the circuit judge's finding from earlier this week that Jing Dong is not a flight risk, he could end up being released from custody before trial. So Wednesday, Jing Dong appeared in circuit court here in Stafford County for his first bond hearing on 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter. He's been in custody since the May 29 crash that killed 5 people and injured more than 40 others. After an hour-long hearing, the judge granted a $25,000 bond. Dong must surrender his U.S. and Chinese passports, driver's licenses, and must remain on house arrest in Virginia. Dong is still in custody for those 2 remaining involuntary manslaughter charges, which his attorney believes could be heavy-handed.
Accidents happen all the time, every day, and people die in accidents, and that's terrible. Does it rise to that level of criminal liability? Not even liability, criminal negligence, criminal, involuntary manslaughter. And so to indict the next business day, I question it, but that's where it is. And that was a choice by the elected official in this county. So we'll see what happens.
Now, police say Dong failed to slow down for a work zone and slammed into multiple vehicles that morning in May. Prosecutors also brought up prior speeding charges. The defense says Dong was not speeding or on his phone prior to the crash, and that Dong feels great remorse for the lives lost that day. So the bond hearing is at 8:30 this morning. Trial currently is scheduled for October 6th.
Thank you for that report, Mel. Now an update to the video we showed you yesterday. A truck crashing into a home in Sterling, Virginia. This was on Wednesday when this incident happened. ICE now confirming its agents were involved in that chase in the Loudoun County neighborhood. The department saying that agents were trying to stop the driver when 2 people bailed out of the moving vehicle, sending the truck crashing into a home on Sherwood Court. No one was hurt. Still not clear if anyone was taken into custody. The Fairfax County community is grieving the loss of a 9-year-old boy struck and killed riding an electric scooter.
It happened last night in Herndon. Police say a minivan hit that boy in a parking lot near Madden Court and Highland Mews Court, and that the boy wasn't wearing a helmet. We're told the driver of the minivan was trying to make a turn near her house at the time, and that she did stay at the scene.
This is a very tragic incident for everyone in this neighborhood and for everyone involved.
I only seen them getting objects out under her car. I don't know what objects it was, but I also seen them assessing the child at the scene.
And police say this is a critical reminder of the importance of wearing a helmet while riding scooters or bikes.
We're turning now to a Fox 5 health alert. More than 70 cases reported in a new cyclospora outbreak as the FDA searches for the source. Now, federal health officials say they are still focused on lettuce from Taylor Farms as the possible source of the parasitic infection, which causes serious intestinal problems. The U.S. is currently in the middle of the worst cyclospora outbreak on record, with thousands of cases reported.
And hands up, this Sunday, MedStar Washington Hospital Center will officially shut down a postpartum unit. This will eliminate 11 maternal health beds. Nurses and advocates have spoken out against this, saying the 18 beds left won't be enough since a third of all deliveries in D.C. happen at MedStar. The hospital is blaming the closure on financial struggles and said it'll still be able to deliver safe and quality care.
Let's head outside. 4:06 this morning, taking a look at the Capitol wheel over at National Harbor. I felt the light breeze yesterday, even in the middle of the day.
Yes, it was lovely.
Sun. Yeah. It was amazing. I couldn't believe we're in the almost done with July. I don't know. We have what, another week?
Yeah, so we have another week, but unfortunately, this weather, it's here, it's nice, but it always doesn't last. But let's talk about just how long we expect it to last, right? So that's going to be the key thing for parts of today. So get outside, enjoy a lot of this beautiful weather, because most of us are still sitting comfortably in the 60s thanks to that flow coming out of the northeast. So it's drawing in some of that cooler, drier air out there. And you could even see that for the most part, all temperatures here in the area are either in the low to mid 60s or even some spots in the 50s. Look at that over towards Lovettsville, 55 degrees, 56 in Germantown, 57 in Clarksburg. So certainly a beautiful day, at least here in the morning, right? So as we continue going towards the out the door forecast, you'll see temperatures mostly in those low 70s at first, jumping back into the low to mid 80s. But we do have some clouds coming up. Don't worry, though. Rain is not in the forecast. We're going to talk more about the weekend weather here coming up in just a couple of minutes. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Cesar. Let's get outside. The outer loop in Morningside. There's construction to tell you about. Allentown Road and Ritchie Marlboro Road with traffic getting by in the right lane. You see the cars moving a little slower than normal. There is a little bit of a delay to that drive time through the work zone. It's about 12 minutes at this time. Protests erupting in Wisconsin last night over the death of a homeless man fatally shot by police on Wednesday. 38-year-old Corey Darrell Ruiz, we're told, was shot and killed on the street. He's alleged to have wounded an officer with a knife while resisting arrest. A bystander captured his death on video, leading to calls for more accountability from law enforcement. The video from a vigil held in his memory. This was last night, and the identity of the officer who fired the gun that killed Ruiz has not been released by police. And now to a Fox 5 News alert. Sweeping new tariffs against dozens of countries went into effect overnight. The Trump administration now imposing a tax of up to 12.5% on imports from 60 countries that it says have been lax about banning forced labor. These new penalties cover 99% of all U.S. imports. This all comes after the Supreme Court ruling in February that struck down previous tariffs by the president. Now to the latest to the conflict in the Middle East. Bahrain activating its sirens early this morning, warning residents to shelter from detected fire. And this comes hours after the U.S. military said it conducted a 13th night of strikes against Iran. The Gulf states have gotten quite caught in the crossfire as the U.S. and Iran continue to exchange these escalating strikes over the past week. Meanwhile, the Houthis threatened to shut down another key trade route. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait in the Arabian Peninsula transports about 12% of the world's trade. And back here on Capitol Hill, the House passed another war powers resolution to stop the president's military action in Iran. The measure passed 214 to 208, with 4 Republicans joining Democrats to end the conflict. While the resolution is largely symbolic, it signals growing unease within the GOP about the war. The Senate has narrowly rejected a similar resolution.
Well, today the FDA's advisory panel will meet for the second day to discuss the controversial use of peptides. Peptides are the building blocks of complex proteins. They can also be turned into drugs like insulin or GLP-1s that trigger hormones needed for growth and metabolism. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has touted the benefits of peptides. The White House now pushing the FDA to approve them, but the FDA says there isn't enough testing on synthetic peptides.
We don't know if they really work as they're claimed, and most importantly is if they're safe for consumption by humans.
Many of my patients are already using these drugs. They hold up a vial with no label, no dose, no ingredient list.
And the FDA will review votes from a panel and public comments before making a decision on whether to ease access to peptides.
Before we head to break, just a reminder, today is another Zip Trip Friday. We're going to Culpeper, Virginia this morning. You can join Jacqueline, Tucker, and Annie Mae. They're going to be near the Museum of Culpeper History on Commerce Street, starting at 7:45 and going until 11. Come out and say hello. It's going to be a beautiful day to do so.
And when we come back, the promise that President Trump is making to keep you protected against rising energy bills because of data centers. We'll be right back.